A lot of the stress and the anxiety that people feel especially in the first few days of this journey, is down to not knowing what to do or which way to turn. When you have that feeling of being pushed and pulled to and fro, being stretched to your limits. When you're feeling you're undergoing that discomfort, they get the feeling like every time they try to open a door, every time they try to take a step forwards to try something new, they get the door slammed straight back in their face. This is normal. It's part of the journey. It's part of the entry fee that you have to pay to get you to that next level. Don't look at it like it's a failure. There's only one thing that you need to do in these early days, one thing that you need to focus on in these early days, and that's to keep the alcohol out of your mouth. Don't complicate it more than that. Don't even focus on that. When I'm teaching people, I try to get people to focus their minds forwards. Right? Your mind is going to bring up the alcohol of its own accord because it's part of the habit. That's the habit talking. It's part of, I drank for over 30 years, so you're not going to forget about alcohol overnight. You're not going to forget about alcohol in a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year down the road even, right? It's still going to come up in especially times of pressure, of anxiety. You can't break the habit without first ignoring the thing that the habit is based around. And that's the rule, right? Alcohol fuels the habit. If you want to kill the habit, you got to starve it first of its fuel. That feeling that you're anxious or antsy or bored or fed up, that's the best thing that could be happening to you. It's what happens to everyone when they're stopping drinking alcohol in one form or another. It's supposed to happen that way. Every time you try and remove a habit of consumption where you're consuming something as part of that habit, getting rid of that habit is going to cause you a certain amount of anxiety, a certain amount of antsiness and boredom, because you're not doing the thing that you used to do to combat the anxiety and the boredom. It's supposed to happen that way. Now, once you think about these things as being the price of entry to get you to that next level, it makes it much easier for you to deal with those things. This is supposed to happen that way. I'm not going to get to the next level unless I go through these things. I'm not going to get to the next level unless I can manage my anxiety properly, unless I can manage my boredom properly, unless I can manage to relax without the thing that I used to use to relax, if you get what I mean. You don't get through that door to the next level until you have paid the price. That stepping up only happens after you've paid that price, after you've earned it. Think about it like it's an evaluation. Think about it like your life is asking you, are you sure at this moment that you can handle the life that you say that you want? Are you sure you can handle the life without your crutch? Right? Are you sure you can handle the relaxation without the crutch? It's easy to say you want these things, right? This is the problem. It's particularly easy to say it when you've got the pain of the hangover that's spurring you on, that's just in your head. I remember waking up with hangovers that were so bad I couldn't function for the full day. And it's easy then to say, I'm not going to do it, and I want this. I want the next level. Easy to say it then. When you're going through the pain of embarrassment or the pain of humiliation, or the literal pain in your side because your liver is swelling up, it's easy to say it then. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Like I said, 30 years of drinking, and you're going to have these moments over and over and over again. Real quick, we've a few places left on our private 30-day coaching group. We start on Monday. I'll be with you every step of the way. Lots of group video calls, my private WhatsApp number, and you can even get it for free. The link is in the description if you're interested. So you can't just step across that line into your new life. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be tests. You've got to break a lot of the old life before you can start building the new life. And none of this is going to hurt you. None of the discomfort, the cravings or the triggers or any of that stuff is in any way physically damaging to you. A lot of people at the far end who've got so much damage. They've drank so much alcohol that they've got so much damage to their livers, to their brains, to their hearts, all these organs, that they can't stop alcohol without medical attention, where they find it very difficult to stop because of the amount of alcohol that they've drank. Those people want everybody to go through that same thing. That it wasn't them that put all this alcohol in. I look at myself and I think, all those times that I sat at that bar, pouring pint after pint down my throat, handing over euro after euro after euro, a fat wallet going in, an empty wallet coming back out. And I don't want to look back on those times and think, well, you were a fucking idiot. It's like, I want to think to myself, well, you did it because of the culture. You did it because you're Irish. You did it because you're a man, whatever. The way that I look at it now, I'm away from alcohol a long time, and I look at it through kind eyes. It is what it is. It doesn't matter why you did it. It is what it is. But the fact is that when you stop drinking, and you have to go through those barriers, those personal barriers in your brain, they're the biggest ones that you're going to have to go through. None of it is going to hurt you. This is the kind of breaking that's not destructive. It's preparing you. It's preparation that you have to go through in order to step up to that next level. You don't just prepare at the beginning. Every stage, every level that you get to is the preparation for the next level. And then that level is the preparation for the next level. If you've ever played any level game in your life, where you have to go through levels, this is what it's like, more or less, right? If you think way back before you started drinking, look at the way that you felt, the way that you approached life. All that is there underneath it all. It's still lying dormant, waiting to be realized again, right, in a different form. It's not going to be the same form. How can I ever go back to 30 years before I was drinking? But there's some of those parts of myself that were still there, that were waiting, that fun part, the excitement part, the looking forward that I'd lost over those years of drinking. And I think there is a certain point in life, especially in the life of a drinker, who's tried over and over again to cut back, to moderate, to control things. There's a point where you really lose that ability to believe in yourself. You lose your confidence. You've heard it all before from yourself. You've tried it all before. You've failed so many times before. Every time you try and moderate and you fail it's not looked at like, oh, well, we'll try again next time. It's looked at by yourself as a failure, right? So when you move forwards, your mind needs proof that, all the discomfort that you're putting up with now is going to lead you somewhere. Proof from yourself, right? You're not responding to just words anymore because you've heard those same words over and over and over again. Like I said, how many times with a hangover have you said, I'm never going to do this again? That has an effect on you. So you have to prove it to yourself now. You've put yourself through these similar scenarios again and again and again, and here you are, again, trying again. I went through the same thing, right? I try to moderate, I try again. I mean, it seems like hundreds of times that I tried to moderate, and every time I tried, I failed, right? Because it's just a stupid game that you're playing with yourself. Eventually you get to the stage where you just say, enough is enough, no more, right? I've had enough. So, you're gonna feel like you're in the middle of the fire for a while. Sometimes I think about it like the no man's land. I don't know if you remember going back to the 1980s and before that, where there was a split in Germany and they had the wall. And in between the East Germany and West Germany, there was the no man's land. And if you got into that, you were in big trouble. This is kind of like a no man's land where you're neither in your old drinker's mind, but you haven't escaped from it yet. So think about how you create muscles, right? You go into the gym and you push and you pull and you push and you pull until you waste the energy in that. And then you rest for a bit and you push and pull again. And yet you have to get this burn in your muscles in order to get through it. It's a similar kind of thing to that. Why would you think that creating the life that you want to live is any different to that, right? That burn is exactly what you're supposed to feel when you're in the gym. And that same feeling, that feeling like you're in the fire, is exactly the feeling that you're supposed to feel when you're going through this change. You're going through this transformation. So just say it to yourself, no more. That's it. I'm going to resist any temptation to go back. If I want to get to the next level, I can only want it, right? It's not just something that I have to say in my mind, I want this now, and repeat those words over and over. You have to make it happen, right? You have to put yourself in the position where you make the decision, you make the commitment, and you say, no more. Take care. Onwards and upwards.